the fitting of ships, so don't worry. Cool, it seems everyone's ready. I'm gonna begin. Okay, welcome to Brave Exploration class for beginners. So I'll be covering how to fit your ship, how to scan down a site, and teach you how to do the hacking mini game, and how to survive relatively. So let's start with
Try and clean some dust out of it before you just.
In general, you want, depending on
the suction
your skill level, you would want.
Just be careful.
You will need either a prototype cloak, or a Kovops cloak.
Just quick game then.
If you're flying T1, only T1s, you'll need the proto cloak, as shown in Fleet. Or if you're flying anything of an Astero or T2, it's mandatory to have a covert ops on us, especially the Astero. And then you'll need a probe launcher. If you're T1 or Alpha, just probe launcher 1 for core. Unless you plan on doing PvP, then expanded probe launcher. Preferably, if you're skilled enough, you will want to use Sisters of Eve probe launcher with Sister of Eve probes. Then, depending on the depending on your ship you're in, you could fit a salvager. Personally, I never use it. Never need to use one, but if you feel like you're gonna come across wrecks or come across wrecks, you could. Then you'll need your micro warp drive. Micro warp drive. You can it's personal preference, use a cargo scanner, but if you want to fit a scanning upgrade, you can do that as well. Then you'll need just a relic analyzer 1 and data analyzer 1. For your lows, you could do warp cat, 2 warp stabilizers, and restrained or nanofiber structures. I personally like nanofiber structures 2.
Why do you use nanofiber?
It increases your velocity, and it also increases, I believe, agility. It allows you to align much faster. But it does sacrifice, if I'm correct, hit points on your armor.
It is worth noting at this point then, if you do get attacked, you can put your nanofibers offline and get more EHP.
Ah.
Yes. But ideally, if you're in a T1 Explo or a T2 exploration ship, you do not want to get attacked. Ideally.
The name of the game is evasion.
Unless the only ship that gets away with it is the Astero in the frigate line, because it can be fitted for PvP. But I personally wouldn't risk it unless you're really good at PvP, because the Astero is a very expensive frig. For your rigs, I would use a scope sharpener, a small small emission scope sharpener 1, and what I forgot the upgrade for the relic site. Let me look that up. Yeah, gravity capacitor. That will also be good. Now those are optional. You can fit the rig. If you need capacitor or power grid, you can fit those in as well. Personally, I like to use stuff that increase my speed, like the carbon housing and the other astronomic rigs. Yes, you can. You can not have. You don't have to use the. It's not mandatory to use the rigs for hacking and data. Any questions so far? Once you're done scaling into the T1 frigs, it's highly recommend to scale into Covops, then into the T2 ships. If you have enough ISK, which is not necessarily recommended for beginners, would be to go to Astero until you get to the T2 ships. T2 ships are significantly cheaper than the Astero.
And the covered ops ships can warp to sites while cloaked, correct?
Yes, they can. That's a huge benefit over the T1s, is being able to warp cloak and having no speed impairment on your cloak. You can also, if you're a higher end player, higher skilled player, you can explore in a Stratios or a TC3 cruiser. Relic sites doing a couple of relic sites to cover the cost of a Astero, it's very hit and miss on that. You can, but can you afford to lose it afterwards? Or is it ISK efficient to fly it? Okay, now I'm gonna link. Now for hacking, there is a mini game. You will want to destroy restoration nodes immediately. Don't let them go. And also you would want to destroy the suppression nodes as well, because they suppress your virus strength.
The guided link has pictures that will show you where those are.
Yes. Also, for hacking there is a system called the Rule of 6, which will help you greatly doing it. Which, give me a second, I'll link the video on that into Fleet. Yes, there is a data equivalent to scope sharpener. A small gravity capacity. I believe so. Correction, small gravity capacitor upgrade increases your probe strength. Yes, it is. Nullsec Explode is viable for alphas, even without a cloak. Can be done. I've even seen alphas exploring wormholes. Did everyone get that link I sent for the rule of 6? Yes, paranoia is a good. It comes with Explode. The benefit of T1 frigs is that they're dirt cheap, and you'll more than likely make way more than your ship is worth. You know. Anyone inside the HQ, inside station. Everyone meet up at the Fortizar.
Does he throw a bomb yet?
Then once everyone's formed up, we'll go looking for sites, and I'll explain how to survive while looking for sites, or we're coming back from doing a run. I help teach Mark.
Oh, really? But he puts some good pictures for it.
Yeah, he does. He does really good at it. He's better at explaining than I am, to be honest. Any questions on ships or the hacking?
Yeah, about ships.
What's your question?
I've heard some guys are using interceptors for exploration. What's that about?
It can be done, since interceptors don't get impaired by bubbles. I personally never done it myself, nor seen it, so I really don't have much info on it. But I've heard it can be doable if you're good enough. You don't get any of the benefits though.
So the interceptors don't have bonuses to hacking activity, right? So
Yes.
interceptors. So you have to basically. No, that wasn't a question. That was a statement. So basically, what you're trading is the ability to be super swift and not be affected by any sort of drag or catch bubbles. But because you're losing the benefits that come from an exploration type ship. Your skills have to be pretty much max. Otherwise, you're just going to feel like cans left and right.
But Kadoku is that good shit for running your loot back to somewhere safe?
Yes.
There's no guarantee. Like the interceptor, dude, in high sec, I've been caught in a travel fit Ares.
There is no
There's no guarantee.
there's no guarantee. You'll still die one way or the other if someone wants to kill you. Is it slightly safer than? Is it slightly safer? Yes, but it's no guarantee.
I mean, the way that I do it is I give it to my NPC high sec alt
That's what I do.
for a courier,
Actually, that's what I do as well.
and just double wrap it, put it in a can, and then contract the can.
If someone wants you dead, they're going to kill you. Like a guy hunted me for a month while I was doing exploration. Put a drag bubble filled with cans in it just to take me out. Which, by the way, if you see, beware of a corp called Out of Sight. They will hunt you. That's
And
my
if you
only...
notice that somebody started hunting you, you should have a safe in every system. Go to that safe and safe log off. Come back in an hour, they'll be gone.
Yes, if you're stopping in a system, always make a save and launch your probes from there. Never sit on the gate and launch your probes there.
Well, I mean, you can launch your probes in the gate as you're warping away, but...
Well, here's the thing. If somebody warps to the gate, if they see that there's a Newton system, they're going to check the gates. And if they go to the gate and see that there's probes there, because the probability is you're not going to be able to get your probes off that location onto whatever you're trying to scan
Okay, yeah,
before
that's
they
the point.
land. So it's basically you're advertising to somebody that you're exploring the system.
Can we get a quick description on how to make a bookmark for somebody?
Control the mid-warp.
The slower your ship is, the easier it is to make bookmarks. Because if you've got something that goes, 7 AU,
It's a pain in the ass to do it in a 10
it's
AU
doable.
ship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for wormholes, always make a bookmark in a wormhole. Bookmark your entrance and exit at all times, or you'll get stuck there, scanning down every site trying to find that wormhole. Is everyone at the Fortizar?
No, I can be.
Or for those who are doing the actual physical stuff, and not the ones listening in. Thanks for the link. Yes, it's also good to have multiple bookmarks in a system, especially if you frequent that system, just in case you may have a compromised bookmark.
The
And
best thing to do is make a save point between your two bookmarks.
could also make a save point if you finish a site and it despawns. You can make a bookmark there.
Will it spawn back there?
No, or it can. It's a random chance.
I think it will if the servers have gone offline for a restart.
Because
It will refresh.
data and relic sites, once they despawn, they respawn randomly.
No, but I've heard someone talking about they bookmarked a bunch of sites, and then as the server was restarting, the sites go back to where they were.
I've never seen that because I've completed sites in the area, saved, logged off for the night, come back, and no sites were in the system. It's kind of random. It's RNG.
That's
really.
another-
So basically, it works by constellation. Every constellation will have a set amount of cosmic signatures. So, and what type they are and where they spawn is totally random.
Are there some constellations that are smaller or bigger than others?
Yes.
Yes. Some you may have some with like 100 AU jumps, or some that literally have 0.1 AU jumps.
That's the last one. Oh,
If you're ready for jump, put R in fleet. Just be aware, I'm probably gonna screw this up horribly. Yes. Yes, we might get horrifically blown up before class even remotely ends. Okay, align to CCP gate. Warping us down. I would like to point out it is the first time in a long time that I've flown in T1 Freak for X-Blow.
So you're gonna try to warp places and be cloaked and not be
Yeah.
able to.
Yeah, not be cloaked. It's the first time I feel naked flying uncloaked. Oh, yeah, if you look to your right and left, you'll see PL's citadels they so kindly dropped on us. Jump through gate and hold cloak.
There's a question. Can you activate a cloaking device without breaking your gate cloak, or will the switch make you visible for a moment?
The switch will make you visible from a. You have to break your cloak to engage your cloak.
And that includes using a Cobots one.
Yes. Who dropped the scanner?
Let's go ahead and retract that a second. You can't activate a module until you break your invulnerability after you jump. That's the more appropriate explanation of the function. Like once you go through a gate, you're cloaked up and invulnerable. So before you can actually activate any of your modules, you have to break that initial invulnerability and cloak.
Cool. This is the perfect place to do some scanning. We got one site. See if I have attack here. Align to the sun.
Let's get off that gate quick.
Doing fleet warping to sun. Get to sun and cloak up.
Don't have the cloak skill.
Give me a second to find my tack here.
I could
We're
get
running-
you to a safe spot.
Rip, I don't have a tack here. Okay.
Why the attack?
Stay at sun and stay cloaked.
Just so people know, warp to 10 on other people so you don't break their cloak.
Yes.
Let me walk to somebody out of the chat.
Okay. Okay, everyone. Once I'm done warping, warp to me at 10.
the cities now? One left? Other than roads.
And NC's probably wondering what the heck we're doing in here.
They probably think it's covered flops.
NT ones?
Most of us are cloaking, so technically.
That's what I would think. And be like, well, your cloakies are here. I don't see them on D-scan.
Okay. Launch your probes. It should be safe here because I don't see combat probes on scan. That's a lot of probes. Okay, if you open up your scanner, you should see a cosmic signature. Try scanning it down. A good tip is I use precision scanning. Okay, here's another tip. Do you see the filter option? If you see it, click it and create new filter. And name it exploration scan. Click on data sites and relic sites and wormholes. And hit save and you'll have a special filter for exploration only.
I see 2 red dots.
Scan the one that's furthest away from the center of your previous scan.
Yes, also, if it's close to a planet or body, orbital body, scan that one. Pinpoint scan is really good. I personally use it almost 90% of the time. It helps you pinpoint scan area quicker. Don't warp to the combat site. I normally scan it till about I figure out its name, and with say a combat site or a site I don't want, I usually stop scanning there and hit ignore on it. But for now, scan it until it's green and able to warp to. Can't get a signal on it. What's your question, Boyle? Okay, if it shows up as 2 red dots, and you scan one of them, and it doesn't show up, or it disappears, or you lose scan on it, it is the incorrect one. You move on to the next one, and you try scanning that.
Don't scan either one of those. Put the center of your probes onto the middle position between both of those dots. Make sure the inner circle on the pinpoint formation covers both of those red dots, and you'll get the next scan.
I mean, there's better ways of doing it.
The thing is, I only have a cross in the middle and a red sphere around it. Still, I don't have 2 dots in it.
No, 2 dots is a bad scan. You want, ideally, what you want to do is you want to launch a pinpoint formation, which is this, there's 3 icons, right? There's the pinpoint, there's a pinpoint formation, and then there's the launch spread formation. You want to be using the pinpoint formation initially when you launch your probes. You want to expand like, so what you can do is you can actually, it's basically like the resolution of your probes, right? So when you launch them, you can actually highlight those blue bubbles, click one of them, and increase it or decrease it by dragging it in or out towards the center of the cross. And your first scan, on your first scan, the entire red sphere should be at the periphery of the intersection of all your probes.
9 times out of 10 though, if you get 2 dots, one of the dots will be like at the very outskirts of your scan, and that's normally the one it is though.
Yeah, I found that true.
Also, that some scans are really hard. Like, if you're coming across like covert or ghost site, sometimes you won't be able, depending on your skills, sometimes you won't be able to scan it down 100%. It'll give you a good idea of what it is usually, because covert sites and ghost sites tend to be that. Or in addition, some sites are actually just hard to scan in general. Has everyone got that scan down to green?
No, I'm still not happening.
I've got it at 18.5, but I'm getting closer.
This is one of the key components of exploration. Next to hacking. Well,
The real embuggerance is just trying to get your probes in the right place, because it's hard to judge up and down on this.
Oh, I have some advice for that. You probably want to tilt your camera so it's looking straight down on the signature, and then move it left to right so it's directly over the red dot, and then tilt it so it's looking sideways, and then you can move that left or right so it's over it.
Another tip of advice: if you have one dot, you could click on the cosmic signature in your scanner, double click it, it'll center you on it. Now, if it's 2 dots, you can click either one of them, and it'll center it.
See, now I lost my scan again. Why does that keep happening?
It means you either scan the wrong one, or you scan either too close or too far.
It could be scan deviation too. The dot will move around a little bit if your skills aren't that good.
Yes. You can improve your scanning strength with mods, or if I'm correct, you can improve your scanning res with ship bonuses and the mods for your ship. And along with the scan resolution mid slot.
I've got 38.8%, and it says it's a combat site.
Okay, if you followed my tip, it should disappear. Once everyone's at least got it scanned enough to either green or red, or so you can find the name of it.
Could that be the reason that I put it on the filter, no combat site, and that's why it's gone now?
Yes, if it disappears, if you follow my filter, if it disappears, it's not a site you're looking for.
That explains a lot.
It takes. I personally use it when I'm doing exploration, because it gets rid of the clutter. But when you're done, say, doing Explo and you want a rat or mine, make sure to turn it off.
Alright, I was getting worried because it had disappeared like ages ago, and I've just been increasing and increasing and increasing. But
if you look at the bottom right-hand corner of your probe scanner window, it should have filtered or ignored. And
yeah.
If you set up his filter, it should have one filtered.
Yeah, I've just realised it. I've never done a filter before. Yeah, I've realised now that it actually found it.
If you're done doing scanning, pull your probes back, and if everyone's ready to move on, we'll move on to the next gate. While we're waiting, I'll explain. There are a couple of dangerous sites known as covert sites, and sleeper sites. They'll either have limited, frontier, or barista covert research. Those sites will.
No, those are wormhole. The sleeper sites are limited, standard, and superior.
I've run into limited out of wormhole space.
We're not talking about wormhole space. In K-space and regular space, the only sleeper sites you're going to run across are limited, standard, and superior.
Yes, I'm also including wormhole ones as well, just in case someone wants to do wormhole. If it has anything with sleeper, frontier, or covert, be aware they either explode or have rats in them that will kill you. I've learned this the hard way on the covert one when I got blown up by rats. How's everyone scanning so far?
I thought we were done scanning.
Okay, we're done scanning. Align to our gate.
You want broadcast?
Yes, broadcast. Okay, once everyone's aligned, decloak, and I'll start warp.
There's a Punisher on this gate.
Punisher.
A Slice Punisher.
Warp 2 and jump on on land. You don't warp if you don't decloak. Jump. He's a bit busy with the rat.
He burned away. I'm gonna beg him out here a little bit. Missed 31 off.
Oh cool, another site.
Oh, people.
Punisher followed.
Stay cloaked. Taking you into warp now. To one of my other attacks. Did anyone catch warp or did I just warp myself?
No. You
Bingo.
warped yourself.
Oh, fucking.
And now I'm in a bubble.
Just drop a bubble.
No, I'm in a bubble.
Yeah,
And
they
I'm
dropped
being
the bubble.
shot.
Who's in trouble? Who else is in trouble?
Everybody, run!
Ah,
Warp
don't bother,
to
I'm dead now.
Dead.
If you either could burn back back to the gate and jump it, or you could try to burn through the bubble cloak, which that'll take you forever to do. On with Proto. Boys, you just experienced your first gate camp explosion. Who's dead? Who's still alive?
Alive, but I'm in DO6.
Okay, you can warp to me if you're alive, and that you're unsafe.
I made it back through to CCP.
Okay.
Be careful jumping back into DO6 from CCP. There was a blob on the DO6 side.
Roger.
At least I hope everyone's in the T1 figures to say that. Well, I'm gonna put some guides up in fleet
I've just been hearing Max Assassins.
on more on scanning and general explorer stuff for all the alpha guys in here. Oh, I forgot one thing. If you want to avoid gate camps, also use gate checker. That helps a lot. It isn't totally accurate, but it helps a lot.
Hello, is this the New Bros romp?
This is the Explo class.
Sorry.
You just missed a slight oops moment.
You can join, but the way to us kind of camp now.
Okay, I put the link in for 8E gate check. I find it as a useful tool for plotting out a route or coming back from a run. Cart, you can just listen in at this point. I think half of us died. Or this is also a good time to pull out FC Bingo.
Do we need to get a new ship or?
Just listen in at this point. You won't be able to come back through. They're camping it. And if it tells it right, there's a blob. There's also it's more of a fun fact. There is a station I like to use when exploring called Thera. That's the only wormhole station, and it usually connects to several high sec, low sec, and null sec holes, which can be found through Eve Scout. And if you want to bug someone on that one, go bug Rayland, since he's the person who got me into that.
What exactly is Thera?
There is a Sisters of Eve station, the only NPC station, the only station in wormhole space. It's kind of like a hangout spot for wormholers and Explo.
Is that a good place to stash loot?
You can, but it can be dangerous because it is a well-populated hole. It's also a very large hole. I recommend just visiting it just to see until you're more confident I'm not getting killed while out exploring. Eve Scout doesn't replace Tripwire. It only shows you connections to Thera. And it's always updated. It's run by a pure Explo Corp.
A Signal Cartel?
Yeah. Tripwire. Tripwire is used if you're going through wormholes. It pops up each wormhole you've been through, so the rest of the Alliance can see. The only time you shouldn't use it on Alliance is when you're going to Spooky's home space. They'll ask you to say the personal. That's a link I just did. LinkedIn. It's a good guide on General Explorer. I use Wormhole and nullsec exploration together to break things up, so I'm not into one area too soon. I'll have to run a Wormhole only class, but Wormhole comes in classes, I think, from C1 to C6, or was it C13? I'm not
C13.
quite C13. C1 through, what is it, 5 doesn't spawns faction stuff, and I think past C6 to C13 is nothing but sleepers. I could be wrong, because I'm still relatively new to the whole wormhole system myself. Or you could use wormholes as a way to travel to different areas of New Eden, which I like to do. That's how I'm able to do the 100 jump stuff relatively quickly.
One left to go. Is this a new one that you just got?
Now, Brave has an Explorers channel. I'm going to link in Fleet.
We're getting there.
Any questions so far?
So for just kind of putting two and two together for my week here in Brave, seems like the explorers are out for many jumps and for extended durations on time through nullsec. Is that how you should be looking at exploration in nullsec?
Yeah.
Yes, really it comes up to you. I personally like doing the long multi-day stuff because it gets me more ISK per run. But if you're just kind of trying it out, a couple of jumps is good.
Do you find there are safe places out in nullsec to dock up, or do you end up just kind of staying?
You log off safely in space.
I make a safe slot, warp to it, and safe log. You cannot be attacked. You cannot be attacked while you're safe logged.
Well, there's also some regions in nullsec, like Sisters of Eve, where they have sovereignty and they have stations you can dock up into.
You can, but I usually never do it. I usually just have the safe and just safe log there. Now for data, I like doing both, because doing both data and relic increases my ISK, but it's also another personal preference deal. But when you do data sites, some data loot is exceedingly large, are quite worthless. So I do a couple of data sites and jettison the worthless loot out. I'm good. Also, there is a dojo video that's kind of old on Explo. I'm gonna link that in chat as well.
That video is so old it has LiDAR sights on it.
Well, it's not entirely old. It's June 2016. Personally, I found the Wingspan guide to be a little bit better. Don't tell John that. You'll probably kill him. The one thing I do say, one big benefit with T2 and T2 Expo ships is the cover ops cloak allows you to safely get out of wormholes a little bit better than, a lot better than the T1 stuff.
You mean warping while cloaked, or are you talking about the extra scan bonus?
Well, yeah, warping while cloak, and while you're, in case like we just experienced, get stuck in a bubble, while you're cloaked up with a cover dot cloak, you get none of the speed detriments. So I tend to make my ships build around speed in case I get bubbled, so I can just slow boat out relatively quickly. Yes, as Kiba said in Fleet, wormholes are great in getting into high sec. Right now we're at the point where we're just gonna answer questions.
Thanks, Fleet. Appreciate it.
Any further questions? Yeah, and wormhole, mash the V button. Descan the living daylights when you're doing a wormhole site. You want that V button to be well worn.
It looks like the CCP gets clear. There's only a capsule sitting there.
I don't understand about the minigame. I've even read the guide, but I still keep losing to like really hard defenses.
The minigame takes some time to get used to, but the key thing is destroy resto nodes as you find them immediately. Don't let them go. And also the hacking minigame, you get more HP in the hacking minigame the higher your skill is. What is your skill setup right now for hacking? For hacking and data?
I think it's 3. Let me check. Yeah, it's 3.
It takes some getting used to, but treat the hacking minigame as more like Minesweeper. If you played Minesweeper, or understand Minesweeper, it helps a lot. Always pick up the drops. I would also highly recommend waiting on clicking those glowing orbs until you got everything either cleared of, you got everything scanned down, or you cleared the other negative virus stuff.
Okay, I'm reading the guides. It's those nodes or other node. They'll give you a tool or create a hostile node.
Is this a Desi fleet?
Explore.
Oh, Explore, yeah?
Yes, this is the Explode class.
So
no, that's fine. Thanks.
Your path home is currently clear if you wanted to get back to DO6.
So if you guys want to head back to HQ, the path is clear.
Already out this far, I might as well just go a couple systems further.
You could go right ahead. You got your Expo ship. Good practice too. Expo, it's one of those high risk, high rewards, low SV. It's making options. It just takes a little bit of practice to get a hang of not dying and not exploding your cans. I will also say, Expo also teaches you survival skills that are useful in PvP. And if you do skill up into T2 Expo ships, you're able to unlock the ability to use stealth bombers, which are exceedingly fun to use.
Is the I guess control over the scan probes and the hacking mini game in high sec, is that worthwhile? If with an alt in high sec, is it worthwhile to, I'll say, be practicing there to fine tune those skills?
You can, but nullsec tends to be a bit harder.
But it's basically the same fundamental skill set that you then bring in nullsec?
Yes. Minus you just don't get the good loot you would in nullsec.
I understand. I just found I was struggling over fundamental probe control back in the when we were over in the scan area.
Yeah, I could give you a scanning video. Let me look that up real quick.
I think the characters have a tutorial too.
Yes, if you've done the tutorial, it does teach you scanning.
Well, I did those, but that seemed a whole lot harder out there.
Scanning and the hacking takes practice, but once you get the hang of it, you can do it relatively quickly and efficiently. It also helps if you have eventually get into the Sisters of Eve probes and probe launcher. That also adds bonuses to scanning. If you don't want to blow up relic sites, practice on data sites for the hacking.